Hello and welcome to today's class on understanding geography with diagrams. See, today we'll be talking about the gravity model. See, what this gravity model is nothing but a model which analyzes the volume of migration. Prior to understanding the gravity model, the basic theory of the gravity or the gravitational pull was given by Newton, as all of us must be knowing. Now, Newton within this theory gave total three theories. Now, this particular theory on the gravity model is basically seeing the law of attraction to analyze the migration. Basically, in the migration studies, we have read that it is the push factor that operates at the source, it is the pull factor that operates at the destination. Hence, this there is an attraction that exists, and it is nothing but the study of that attraction. Now let's study the gravity model. Now the gravity model is based on the Newton's law of gravitation, analyzes the relationship between distance and migration. Sorry. It states that the volume of migration between any two interacting centers is the function of not only the distance between them but also the population size. Understand this. This is a particular center, and this is a particular center where pi is nothing but the population of the ith center, pj is nothing but the population of the jth center, and the dij is nothing but the distance between them. Now in this context, it says that the it states that the volume of migration, we can say that this mij is nothing but your volume of migration, is directly proportional to pi into pj, or we can say the volume of migration is directly proportional to the product of the population of each center and inversely proportional to the distance between them, the dij square. This is the basic rule of the gravity model. Now let us understand this, how this gravity model has been utilized. What are the fields in which this particular gravity model has been utilized, or the gravity model of migration, how this has been utilized by in other theories. The first of all was the theory of the Rayleigh's law of radial gravitation. Now remember this, that Rayleigh's law of radial gravitation, will be studying it while we delimitate the urban place. What is delimitation but nothing but the analyzing that what is the boundary of a particular urban place. Now boundary of a particular urban place, we basically, how do we determine it? We do not determine it's based upon the boundary or the political boundary, but we determine it on the basis of the attraction. Now let us understand the Rayleigh's law of radial gravitation. This model states that a city attracts retail trade from an individual customer located in the hinterland. What is a hinterland? Let us say a rural area or a distant area, in proportion to its size and inversely proportional to the square of distance separating the individual from the city center. See, it says that, let us say this is Bhubaneswar. It says that, let us see that this is Bhubaneswar. Near to Bhubaneswar we have the Cuttack. Near to Bhubaneswar we have the Khordha town. Near to Bhubaneswar we have the Balianta, and near to Bhubaneswar we have the Pipili. Now understand this. Bhubaneswar will attract the trade from this place, this place, this place, this place. It says that the place which are nearer to Bhubaneswar will attract more trade in the place which is at a distance from Bhubaneswar. Let us see that, we'll say Puri. The Puri, we can say the Puri town. Now Puri town is quite in a distance from Pipili. So it says that the Pipili will attract more number of service from the service into Bhubaneswar when compared to Puri town, because Puri town is located at a very distance. So basically this is what the Rayleigh's law of retail gravitation. What is retail? Retail is nothing but the retail trade we are talking about. It's like wholesale trade and retail trade. That's it. Next, in 1949, again Z.K. Ziff, an economist, used this empirical generalization. What is this empirical generalization? That is nothing but your gravity model in his principle of least effort in human behavior while explaining the movement of the people between the centers. It says that, just understand this with an example. let us say that Bhubaneswar we have a Apollo hospital, and in Cuttack we have the Cuttack Medical. Cuttack Medical is quite popular, and Bhubaneswar is also popular for some of its medical. Now, a person who is located near to Bhubaneswar, he is suffering from a heart attack. Now, what he will do is that he has two options. One, he can go to Cuttack to operate for a heart surgery, or he can directly reach to Apollo for the heart surgery. So basically, this law says that the person will go to the particular place which is nearest to that person. So basically, even within this model, you can analyze that there are many flaws. Means the flaws of the GKSF. For example, I have a perception that this Cuttack Medical is very good when compared to Apollo. Again, the thing could be that Cuttack Medical is affordable than the Apollo. See, so basically, such things were basically ignored by the geographers. So basically, you do not need to write that things. It's simply just we are writing what is the utility of the gravity model. If a question on the gravity model is asked, you have to define what is this gravity model, how it is used, how that defines the law of migration or the volume of migration, and next to it we are going to determine how this volume of migration has been used by the Rayleigh in his law of radial gravitation and GKSFs, and analyzing the movement of the people or analyzing the behavior, the least effort or the human behavior. Next, again, one more the thing was that the population potential was another theory that was based upon the gravitational model. What is this population theory? This population potential theory. Population potential is nothing but it analyzes that the interaction between the population. What would be the social interaction between the population? Understand this with an example. Let us say this is a center Pi and this is center Pj. Or we can simply say, let us consider this is Bhubaneswar and this is Cuttack. Now basically the interaction between people of Bhubaneswar and Cuttack would be more when compared to the people who are located at Malkangiri. Why? Because the distance is quite near. Bhubaneswar and Cuttack are hardly separated by 25 kilometer distance. Whereas on the other hand, it's Malkangiri which is separated by more than 1,000 or approximately 1,000 kilometer distance. So in this context, you can say that this population potential is nothing but analyzes the interaction between the population which are located nearby. Next, again, but the gravity model, there was serious and severe criticism to this gravity model. What were the criticism? Number one, doubts have been raised regarding the validity of the population size as potential force for attraction. See, gravity model said that said that any city or any center which has more population will have more attraction. That was the first thing. We had total described as that Pi and Pj, volume of the migration, is directly proportional to the population of the center. It says that validity of the population size as a potential force of attraction, it's doubtful because apart from population there are other factors that operate. Factors can be that people's perception. For example, let us see that Bhubaneswar versus Delhi. Now obviously for me, and I'm a person who is from Cuttack. For me, Bhubaneswar is nearby. I can avail all the facilities that is available in Delhi in Bhubaneswar itself. But let us say that I am preparing for the IS, and in this context I would say that Delhi is more suitable for me because that is my perception, that is my ideology, that Delhi has a better chance that I can prepare in Delhi. So on that perception I will move on to where? I will move on to Delhi. Now he says that in this context he says that population doesn't matter. He says that things can matter beyond population. This is first thing that we say. Next, use of the simple linear distance rather than the distance measured in the terms of transport routes, facilities, frequency of movement and cost of transport is another weak point. See, understand this. Let us see that let us say that we are moving from Bhubaneswar to Puri. Now by moving from Bhubaneswar to Puri, we are not just covering some distance by kilometer, but while we are covering that particular distance, there is a toll gate over which we have to stop, we have to pay something, and then we move. So basically he said that he just so basically this gravity model, it's taking the distance that is being covered as a complete linear. Means it's saying that simply there is a distance, but within the distance there is a cost that has been incurred, that has not been taken into account by the gravity model. See, it says that the cost of transport, frequency of movement, that how frequent is the movement taking place, such have not been taken into consideration by the gravity model. Next, further, the model treats the migrant as one homogeneous group. What is a one homogeneous group? Means it makes no difference between the male and the female. Now, as we have understood in the Ravenstein law, Ravenstein says that ki, both male and female migrate, but male migrate beyond. It says that ki male migrate beyond that the females can migrate. Now, in this context, what happens is that gravity law does not takes into account such a thing. It does not differentiate between the male and a female, because in general, what happens is that ki male migrate more and male migrate more distance when compared to the female, and in this context, it does not take such thing into account. Next, it has therefore been suggested that the model is too simple to account for the complex phenomenon like migration. So basically, this is nothing but a conclusion. The last but not the least is that the P.J. Taylor. The P.J. Taylor, what he says that this model is based upon the crude analogy with Newton's law of gravitation having no theoretical base in social science. It's simple. It says that the Newton's law is basically based on the general science of universal law, and hence we cannot apply it in the social science. And subsequently, the model has been modified by maximum applicability to the study of various forms of flow pattern. Simultaneously, this model has been this modified to understand the flow pattern. The flow pattern is nothing but your traffic flow. This is one of the thing. Next, this modification relate to the introduction of some weights to the population size. Yes, a weight has been given to the population size, and use of distance in socio-economic rather than in the geometric term. Means we have analyzed the social and the economic parameters. What are the social parameters? Social parameters, let us say that ki flood flood in a particular area can let the people to move away from that, or we can say that ki people who want to get more higher education, that becomes a pull factor. Economic means that ki we are interested to earn more, that again becomes one of the factors. So here it says that ki there has been modification in which we have included the socio-economic terms rather than the geometric terms. Geometric terms means simple, this is a distance that we have to cover. Why are we covering this distance is not being said by the gravity model. Hence, we modified this gravity model by taking into account the socio-economic distance. Again, Stoffer introduced one such modification in 1940. Let us understand this Stoffer's modification. Now, this is very, very simple. Don't worry. There is nothing complicated over here. Now, as per the Stoffer, says that the decrease in the volume of migration is because of the increase in the intervening opportunities. I think that we have already talked about the intervening opportunity while discussing the Evertle's model. Evertle's model says that the intervening opportunities are nothing but that intervene the migration. Intervene the migration means they bring a hurdle or they create hurdle in the process of your migration. Now, Stoffer introduced it into the gravitational model. See, as per this model, what happens is that this is NO means your number of migrant from the source to destination is directly proportional to the opportunities in the destination and indirectly proportional to the intervening obstacles between the source and destination. Simple. If this is your migratory decision or the number of migrants, if this is the number of migrants, then delta x is nothing but the opportunities at the destination. X is nothing but your intervening obstacles. K is your constant. This was the use of the migratory model. But look at over here that we have taken it into consideration such as the socio-economic factor. Intervening obstacles can be a socio-economic factor. Opportunities at the destination can be economic, can be social. Economic like higher pay grade, jobs. Again social like better educational facility. Again, this was modified in 1960 by Stoffer. What did Stoffer do? Stoffer added another point over here. What was this point? Stoffer added XB, where XB is the number of migrants competing for opportunities in the city 2. This is city 1 and this is city 2. Stoffer says that migration number of migrants will move from city 1 into city 2 is directly proportional to what? It says that is directly proportional to delta x, but delta x is nothing but the opportunity that is available in the city 2, whereas the xb is nothing but those migrants who are already there in the city 2. Means if some migrants are coming into the city too, but there are already some migrants who are already present in the city too, and they will be competing with this flow, this particular group of migrants that are coming right now. Now this is quite simple. Again, Stouffer modified it. Stouffer, what did he modify? Stouffer added that number of migrants is not just equivalent to the opportunities that are prevailing where in the source region, but also the push factor, that is x0. He said that it is not just the opportunities that are let us say this is city 1 and this is city 2. A person who is moving from city 1 into city 2 is not just because there is opportunity in city 2, but also because there is a factor in city 1. As a result, he is moving over here. Let us say that in city 1 there is lack of employment, so that becomes a push factor. But in city 2 there is employment opportunity, that becomes a pull factor. So Stouffer included the push factor, this is your push factor, that is your x0, and your pull factor, taking into account both the social and economic parameters into consideration for the usage in the gravity model. Now actually with this Stouffer's this innovation, this actually gave gravity model a relevant position in the social science, because it actually gave that, because gravity model was no more a linear model, rather it took into account the problems that were being faced by the people. So this is your gravity model. The gravity model of migration can also be the model of for the gravity model of migration can also be the migration model to analyze the volume of migration, its applicability. We also can have a question of a 20 marker question in this context. Hence, I would say that the gravity model, if it's a 60 markers question, I would suggest you the 60 markers question on the migration theory. Please start with the Ravenstein, go for the Evertley, go for Zelensky. Last but not the least, the the gravity model. It's very, very important. And when you're writing the gravity model, please mention the Stouffer's contribution in making the gravity model more relevant in this very context. If it's a 20 markers question, remember that you have to write the gravity model, you have to write the demerits of gravity model and how Stouffer made the identification. Now if it's a 60 markers question, it could be quite challenging you over that to write every point over there. But I would suggest if you can mention all the points, that will be very, very beneficial for you. Thank you. That will be all for today's class.